Personal income tax is an issue that many expat residents have left behind in their home countries. Not so for other nationals who are subject to strict residency conditions. The UK has recently implemented a new test for expats who travel home to Britain on a regular basis. Joining us now to explain the implications is David Noakes, a Senior Wealth Manager at Lifecare International. David, thanks for joining us. So, first of all, what is this new test and why has it been brought in?
Well, previously to April 2013, UK income tax law, when it came to expats and residents, was essentially determined under UK case law, which meant that there were no real hard and fast rules that were written in stone. It came down to previous judicial decisions that had been made. This made it a bit of a grey area for many expats, and it left it open to interpretation, not only by expats, but also HMRC in the UK. The idea of the statutory residence test, which took effect on the 6th of April 2013, was to provide clarity for people, to give a set of fixed rules that people could look at, usually yes or no questions, to enable them to understand better their tax residency status from the UK.
And so how are the expats here responding to this new system?
It's a difficult one to gauge because, frankly, for the majority of expats, this kind of passed people by, especially in this region. We don't have as much UK news here, and add on to that the fact that UK income tax law isn't exactly on the top of people's to know about list. The good news for most expats that are living in the UAE is that if they were a non-tax resident before, they're most likely to be a non-tax resident now. The statutory residence test is split down into three main areas. And so we have the automatic overseas test, there is the automatic residence test, and the sufficient ties test. Each of these have subcategories. However, the majority of UAE expats, UK nationals, will fall under part 3 of the automatic overseas test. Okay. And this is that they've left to carry out full-time work abroad, they spend less than 91 days in the UK, and they spend less than 31 days working within the UK.
So now, what are some of the important things that people need to keep in mind? Are there any sort of traps going on?
One of the key things to understand, I guess, is to understand what constitutes a visiting day and what constitutes a work day. A visiting day is a day where you're visiting the UK on leave or on holiday, and you're within the country at midnight on that specific date. That counts as a visiting day. A working day is where you spend more than 3 hours of any day working in the UK.
So where can our viewers go to get more information about the test then?
The best thing to do is go straight to the source, which is the HMRC website, which is hmrc.gov.uk. On there they can click through to a statutory residence test calculator, which will allow them to put in their own personal details and understand their own position. I also have an information site on personal finance, and there's a couple of articles on there. Okay. That's at Middeeastmoney.org.
Brilliant. David Noakes, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.